Joining us this morning once again is Stephanie Jones, a realtor with Select Realty, part of our Real Estate Spotlight segment. Thanks for joining us again this morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. So today we're talking about what happens after an offer is accepted.
So once an offer is accepted, that's actually when our work begins. The buyer has the responsibility to get their earnest money deposit in within 2 days.
And what is an earnest money deposit?
Earnest money deposit is the good faith amount that the buyer puts down, showing the seller that they're serious about buying their home.
Gotcha.
But it does go back to the buyer if contingencies aren't met. And two standard contingencies are an inspection and an appraisal. So what happens after the offer is we start our work behind the scenes. Title work will get ordered, we'll examine the title work, and the buyer has usually 10 to 14 days to do an inspection, their due diligence of the property. That is the buyer's responsibility, and the buyer pays for that. While that's happening, hopefully the seller is boxing things up and packing, which is their responsibility. And then the appraisal happens, which the bank orders. The realtors and the buyer and seller really have very little to do with the appraisal process. The appraiser is an independent person that comes out and verifies the value that is on the purchase agreement for the bank.
Gotcha.
That's what the appraiser's job is. Gotcha. Then after the appraisal happens, it's about 2 weeks that the underwriting for the bank will look at the whole file and make sure that everything fits their parameters. And I always say that anything that goes wrong in the transaction is usually because of those underwriters. And then we will move to closing. But let's talk a little bit about what the title work is.
Right.
Title work is the document of the history of the title of the home. And the title work gets prepared by a title company, and they look and see, does this person really have the right to sell the home?
Gotcha. So, real quickly, kind of tell us what the difference is between, or the timeline of when someone says, I want to buy this house, and when they actually start moving in, because it really varies house to house.
All of that is laid out in the purchase agreement and is a negotiable item, but it's pretty consistently 30 to 45 days. And in most cases, the sellers are out at closing. So it gets to move pretty fast when you have that final, okay, the appraisal's good, you're moving in 2 weeks.
Very cool. All right. Well, that's all the time that we have for this segment, but we have so much more information from Stephanie from the past few months about buying a house, what goes into even looking for a house. All of that is on our website, uppermichigansource.com. If people want to contact you, maybe they're interested in buying or selling, how do they get a hold of you?
StephanieSells.com is my website, and that has all my contact information. And if you don't look at the TV6 website, you can look at the Stephanie Sells YouTube channel for all these videos and more.
Perfect. Stephanie, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Yep, uppermichigansource.com. Just go there after the